and the bad ones that are in right now will have to see the writing on the wall and change their tune, or
I doubt that they can change their tune. They're very much like the college gals and the college boys who have destroyed our universities, which once were the greatest in the world. Take a look at what they are today. Look at what's going on at these campuses, and take a look at the vermin running everything. Look how they capitulate to the thugs instead of saying, get off my campus. You don't like it? We're ending sports. Get out of here. That's all. This is about learning. It's not about thuggery. Don't bring your thuggery to our universities. Where is this going to come? Look, Dan, I'm not going to just sit in there and complain. All I can do for the audience that's listening is say, thank you for your service to this country. And all I can do for you is send you a copy of Government Zero for Thanksgiving. It's now 47 minutes after the hour. That opens up one line, 855-400-SAVAGE. Can anyone remember any other veteran story from this show? Any vets that I have helped listening to this show who have been helped? I'll be right back.
Join the Savage Nation. Call now, 855-400-SAVAGE, 855-400-7282. Savage.
Your Savage Nation is sponsored by SwissAmerica.com. It's the only company I trust for tangible assets, gold and silver. Call 800-BUICO. It's a great day. I mean, one of the things I love about San Francisco is the food. It's got the biggest Chinatown outside of China, I understand. And right now, this is the sound of a talk show host devouring a meat pie from a local hole in the wall. It's so good, I'm salivating, so excuse me. Oh, my God. Yeah, I'm having a power meal right now in the studio, eating out of a container the way I like it. I could do without white tablecloths and bad wine. And we're talking about the veterans who've given us the freedoms that we enjoy. Despite the fear-mongers, the hate-mongers, the anti-American mongers in the universities and in the journalism profession. In fact, I think journalism is an older profession than street walking. I think journalism, meaning propaganda, probably predated that of the street walker. They often say that street walking is the world's oldest profession. I would say, looking at the newscasters on some of the channels, that's an older profession. Here's a little story. Judge asks rape victim, why couldn't you just keep your knees together? Now, if I made this up, you'd say I'm a sexist pig. I didn't make it up. A judge is under investigation after shockingly asking a victim of an alleged sex attack why she couldn't just keep her knees together. The Canadian Judicial Council has launched a review of the behavior of Canadian federal court judge Robin Camp during a sexual assault case heard in court last year, in which a 19-year-old homeless woman alleges she was bent over a sink and raped in a locked bathroom during a house party. Well, I don't want to read the rest of the story because the judge is insane. I just lost the story. It fell off because I shouldn't read it. During the trial, the judge consistently questioned the efforts of the alleged victim to fend off the attack, asking, why didn't you just sink your bottom down into the basin so he couldn't? I can't even read this. And why couldn't you just keep your knees together? This is sickening. You better check to see if this is a legitimate story or someone made this up. I hope someone did send me a dud. Jim, did you check your sources on this one? It's crazy. I mean, you better go to Snopes or whatever. This sounds like a made-up story. That's something made up. No, it could be true. All right. Hey, hour one down the tubes. I got 2 more torpedoes left for you here on the Savage Nation. And during the break, you will not hear me enjoying the rest of the meat pie and then digging into the whatever I got. I don't know. But with God's will and your listenership, I'll be here. So you be here.
Join the Savage Nation. Call now, 855-400-SAVAGE, 855-400-7282. Savage. Warning. The Savage Nation contains adult language, adult content, psychological nudity. Listener discretion is advised. And now, America's most exciting radio talk show, The Savage Nation, home of unprotected talk, borders, language, culture. And here he is, Michael Savage.
All right, hour number 2, live out of KSMO Studios in San Francisco. Kid. It's Michael Savage. Quite a hectic day. Fourth studio of the day, and this one works. The lucky five. Oh, no, it's the fifth studio. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And here I am reading a local newspaper, whatever there is of it, whatever's left of this thing called a Chronicle. Let's see. Hoping drought takes a powder. You wouldn't know it, but we had a blizzard the other day, and the ski resorts are opening early with 2 feet of recent snowfall. Now, that hasn't stopped the warmists from decrying God and that we're all going to die unless we do this or that. But apparently, Sugar Bowl is opening early. I-80 is open for the cruisers coming up this weekend to go skiing. One of the earliest starts to California's ski season in years is spawning hope that Tahoe will finally escape the throes of the drought. Now, of course, the propagandists in the warmest industry are nowhere to be found because there's snow on the ground. That means the snowpack is already getting laid down for the spring, et cetera, et cetera. Topic 2 on this Veterans Day. Big plan to create energy in desert. Oh, really? You mean a big scam to create energy in desert? Vast public lands and state site for solar and wind plants. I wonder who the scam artists are who's going to get the money from Obama and Brown to build useless solar plants in the middle of these desert areas. 3 million acres. A lot of money to be made there. Who do you think of building those new beach houses? Airbnb, Uber recast themselves as saviors of middle-class folks. I have nothing to say about that. I personally don't know. I have feelings on the Airbnb thing both ways. One, I don't want neighbor reporting neighbor. I don't want them hiring snoops to see who you're renting to. On the other hand, I mean, you know what kind of people you can get in an Airbnb. You know what can happen there. I mean, it's horrible people can come in there for the night. What are you going to do if you're their neighbor? So it's an interesting problem for all of us. World and nation, Syria. Government forces break a siege imposed by the Islamic State group on a northern military airbase since 2013. Now, reading that headline, you wouldn't know who the good guys or the bad guys are, which is exactly what liberals want you to think. There are no good guys or bad guys. See, the Islamic State now is as kosher as the American Express to them. It's an official organization. They have every right to rape, kill, kidnap. Chinatown murder plot detailed. On stand, witness says he believes Shrimp Boy Chow ordered killings. I'm not even going to comment on that one for obvious reasons. LA's water board seeks to buy key Delta lands. All right, that's the local news. City by the Bay to settle guitarist lawsuit. I thought that was an interesting lawsuit. Play Journey by playing City by the Bay because I love that song. Then we're going to go back to the Veterans Day stuff. I want to hear Journey City. That's like a cue. Journey City, City Journal. Journey, refeed. Hello, is anyone listening? Did the board go to sleep somewhere? City by the Bay to settle guitarist lawsuit. Journey band member Sean says he was extorted by SF. Journey's Lights is a love song for San Francisco. I love this song, by the way. But the band's guitarist believes he was shown little affections when he decided to rent the Palace of Fine Arts for his 2013 wedding. He alleged that the city extorted him for hundreds of thousands of dollars, and he sued. Apparently, he was initially quoted a $60,000 rental fee to rent the beautiful Palace of Fine Arts. But as news of the event leaked out to the press, along with Schoen's plans to broadcast the event on a pay-per-view channel at $15 per person, the city officials began raising the fees, even objecting to the royal sexy magic theme. So the city jacked up the cost to nearly $240,000, including such added fees as a $100,000 premium reservation fee, a $50,000 park regeneration fee, blah, blah, blah. So he sued the city, and he just won. That is good. That is a good thing. I like that. I'm thinking of doing a pay-per-view event, but I don't know where and I don't know when. The phone number here is 855-400-7282, 855-400-SAVAGE. Can anyone remember any veteran who has been helped by you, the listeners of the Savage Nation? Are any vets listening to the program who have been helped over the years through my support for combat veterans on this program? WABC Walt, line 5, you're up. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Dr. Savage. I'm a retired combat Marine, and I want to thank you for what you're doing. I am honored and privileged to have been on that wall of freedom so that you can do what you're doing today. Thank you so much.
Well, what can I say? I'm not taking bullets for America. You guys did. And there's a big difference between taking bullets and taking flack. The worst that could happen in this business is you lose your job or someone sues you. I mean, it's not like taking a bullet for a job, There's a lot of difference than being in combat and seeing your friend's guts shot out, or you're talking to a guy, I would imagine, next to you, all of a sudden, his head is a splat of blood. So you guys are the heroes, and frankly, it's the hardcore, tough as nails military, tough as nails cops who have enabled this country to survive, and it's not just lip service. And I say that the thin blue line is all that separates us from the animals. It's that simple. And I'm always going to go with the thin blue line. I don't care what the vermin do in the universities. Period. End of story. End of story. Bill, WABC line 6, you're up. Go ahead, please.
Good afternoon, Dr. Savage. I just wanted to remind you about, excuse me, I got a cold, Lieutenant Colonel Tassetti. He was a Marine Lieutenant Colonel. And
what happened? I really forgot the story. Tell me the story.
Excuse me?
What was the story with him? I forgot it already.
Yeah, I did too. My wife she remembered. She just went to the store. It was something where he was accused of murder similar to Patano, and you set up a defense fund for him. And
I forgot his name. I don't remember his name. I did. I remember him. We got him a lot of help.
Yes.
But look, you see, the important part of this show is to remind my listeners across America that the purging of the military and the attacks on the combat veterans of this country did not begin with Hussein. It began with George Bush. Bush was just as vicious to the Marines and just as vicious to the Army as is Obama, only now it's gotten worse.
Oh, it's unbelievable. And don't forget the Border Patrol guys that you helped out.
Oh, am I glad you brought that up. Do you know who they want to appoint in the head of the Border Patrol? I found the story yesterday. Your hair will stand up. Former San Francisco Police Chief Heather Fong may be picked to head the Border Patrol by Hussein. Now, you don't know who she is. The woman is a complete maniac. She gives sanctuary to undocumented immigrants. She said she will not enforce immigration laws. She will not cooperate with immigration and customs enforcement. This woman was such a disaster in San Francisco. She could not even fire a pistol. She could not qualify to fire a pistol. And they made this loser the police chief in San Francisco. It was one of the greatest scandals in this city. And now because she's so bad, take a guess who wants to make her the head of the Border Patrol. You got it, Hussein.
That's why they want to make her the head person, because she's a loser.
Well, we need to have... Okay, here. Governor Greg Abbott today said there'll be a revolt in the United States if former SF Police Chief Heather Fong is picked to head of Border Patrol. And I would say we need to have a revolt in this country if this is occurring. If this is allowed to occur, that Hussein so guts the Border Patrol with this loser, this woman, Heather Fong, then we need to have 1 million people go out in front of the court.
That's what you need.
I agree. It's time that we were heard. Don't you think it's time that we were heard from, not a bunch of football players in Missouri? Why don't we get heard from? What's wrong with us that we can't go out and say enough is enough? We're not letting you put Heather Fong in there. That's it. Put a person in there who's going to defend the laws. I don't care if she's a man, a woman, pink, black, yellow, gay or straight, but let her defend the laws. And I got to tell you something else. When I was a local host in this city, I had a couple of bodyguards at one time, and one of them happened to be a woman of color who was a lesbian, and she loved this. She loved me to death. She could kill any 3 men I knew. She was about 6'3" and tough as nails. Well, I didn't care about her sexual orientation or her race. And so that's not about this. This is about someone who defends the law. Don't you understand? Of course you understand that. I'm starting to sound like my father talking to me. He'd say to me, don't you understand that? Well, of course I understood him. If I didn't, I was afraid he'd give me a rap. All right, it's the Savage Nation. Stay in the line. I'm giving you a copy of Government Zero. It's 16 minutes after the hour that opens up one line at 855-400-7282.
Join the Savage Nation. Call now, 855-400-SAVAGE, 855-400-7282. Savage.
My Savage Nation is sponsored by SwissAmerica.com, the only company I trust to protect my wealth with gold and silver. Call 800-BUICO. Veterans Day. God bless all the men and the